6 years ago, I signed up with a coach for a year, and none of it made sense on paper. It really didn't. Spending that amount of money, making a commitment like that, thinking ahead to the year, and they were just the things that were happening. I also had like a 5-month-old baby and a 3-year-old. And I had no idea when I signed that contract and signed off that direct debit that just a month later, everything in the world would change. It was a month before the pandemic, and we would lose work. We would be at home. We would have no childcare. And I'm just talking from my own experience here. I know that so many people had so many other different scenarios going on. And yet, I was committed to the person that I said that I wanted to be a year from signing that contract. Because signing up for a year where I was just saying to myself, okay, let's see what is possible. And I think that sometimes when we say we're going to change, we feel like it's going to go from 0 to 100. And what we don't realize or we forget is even changing 20% of yourself can have the most enormous impact. For example, if you increased your turnover or your profits rather by 20%, what could you do with that money? If you had 20% more quality time with your partner or your best friend or your parent or your sibling or your children every single week, how would it change things? If you had 20% more help in your business, so you got rid of 20% of your tasks, how would it impact your business? If you had 20% more energy or 20% of your diet had improved, how would it feel? I think this obsession with overhauling everything and suddenly making everything feel like it's so out of reach, it's not helping most of us. I knew in that moment that making that commitment to myself of changing over the course of a year, that would impact me so much because I had my eye on change. And most people keep their eye on change for a little bit and then it gets hard and then they drop off. So where do you want to be a year from now?